Buddy. It is another Monday, and I'm here live in the school studio. And I just wanted to encourage you guys once again in your projects. I know some of you guys are working on that 9 card game out there, and I just wanted to really touch on a couple of those, couple things that were said in the comments. And I think what was great was that one of you brought up that you had a good conversation with the person that you like to bounce your ideas off of. And this is really a crucial thing in board game design is having someone that you can bounce your ideas off of so that you know that you're not crazy. Now, obviously, sometimes there's a good idea and people are going to think you're crazy and you're going to come up with that idea and you're going to execute on it and they're going to be like, oh, you weren't so crazy, but that doesn't negate that really a big part of the board game design sort of ethos is that there is a relationship that is necessary for designing games. And part and parse, my wife actually came up with the idea of the sourdough game. And she also helped come up with the idea of this game, Merchant Kings. Um, and she kind of, the funny thing is like when she would say the idea, I would be like, I don't know if I like that idea. With Merchant Kings, she was like, what if there was a sailing game that taught you math, right? And I'm like, that is so boring. I I don't like the idea of a game that is solely there to try to teach you math. Now, the thing about games is that with any game is there's this concept of finding the fun, and so if a game isn't fun, it may teach you something, but if it isn't fun, you're probably not going to learn the thing that it's trying to teach you if it's not fun. But she said that, and it started clicking, 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 clicking in my mind. And next thing you know, I kind of came up with this concept of Merchant Kings, and I started making it. And when I finally played a later version of it, I was like, wait, this is exactly the game that you were talking about to teach math while sailing a ship around. And that's the funny part is that that's basically what was the birth of Merchant Kings. And it's a fun game. Yes, it does teach you math. Now that I tell you that, if anyone ever plays it, they'll be like, math game. But it is fun. And it's a fun little math game. So here's the prototype copy. Anyone out there who wants to publish it, please publish it. I'm working on a couple different um, competitions with it. I actually got into the finalists on a couple competitions, or on a single competition. I got semifinalists and finalists in the same competition. So we're working on getting maybe a couple more little badges on the side there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, the sourdough game. Yes, my wife also came with that idea. I was going to make a very generic little farming game, and she was like, "Well, what if you made a sourdough game?" And I was like, "I don't know if that would work." And then my brain started clicking, 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 and I think it was literally the next day I came down with a little prototype for the sourdough game, and now it lives in legends of the sourdough game. So having that person you can bounce those ideas off of, or help you theme your game, because it's very easy to default to sort of those default themes, right? You can default to those themes of fantasy, or you can default to those themes of farming. You can default to those themes of trading in the Mediterranean, which happens to be what Merchant Kings ended up being. But that doesn't mean that those themes don't work. Obviously, they work. That's why there's so many of those games out there in the market. But um, but sometimes coming up with something a little bit unique, kind of give you an edge, something that kind of stands out. And that's kind of what sourdough game was. Is there are games out there for baking bread, but there's not a sourdough game. right? And the unique thing is that that there's kind of this like market out there of people who do sourdough, and and they yeah and they're very passionate about it, and they care about sourdough, and my wife is one of those people, and I appreciate that because who doesn't like freshly baked sourdough in the morning? All right. Any more updates? We're gonna keep broadcasting here on School. We had a couple new people join us this past week, so welcome, guys. Welcome to School. Man, we're so happy you're here. I hope that this School is helpful. Make some comments, ask some questions, man. Like this is the way that we can engage with each other, and just kind of build this community out. Um, for those who might be watching this on YouTube, yeah, come over and join us on School. Like it's free. We're just hanging out here, just trying to get better at board game design. Uh, right? Like I'm not the best board game designer in the world. Obviously, like I have one little self-published game, um, and I'm working on Merchant Kings. I've got a couple other irons in the fire, and um, that's obviously like the sourdough game. And this is really a space where like we can just share the little things that we've learned along the way. Some of you guys might be already published the game. You're already in here helping us. You got so much to offer the community, offer me. And so I'm going to be writing out these little blogs. I'm just kind of going over the different concepts of board gaming. And I just want to encourage you guys, keep those big, hairy, scary ideas out in the forefront. Keep working on them. Don't be don't be faint-hearted. Go back and look at that productive um, uh, little blurb that I have in the community school. Yeah, just look in there. Listen to that one podcast by the Board Game Design Lab. Gabe Barrett is really encouraging. Even if you're not designing a board game, even if you just love playing board games, and you are wanting to become more productive in some area of your life, that podcast is really helpful. It gives you a lot of good, helpful tips in doing that. So, anyways, thank you guys. Hopefully, see some of you guys next week. You can join this live call. Actually, I'm going to try to get on it at 6 o'clock as it's scheduled, and I think that's available for you guys to jump on, and then you guys can dialogue with me, talk with me. It'd be great. Anyways, see you guys.